I don't think a video of this caliber exists yet, because when I search up ROTMG Exaltation Guide into YouTube, the first video to come up is my Necro video, so I think it's about time something's done about that. Unlike my previous videos, this one's going to follow more conventions of a guide rather than a discussion video, but I'm going to try and make it as interesting as I can. Alright, so you're looking to exalt... Wait, period? God, it feels weird just saying that without following it up with a class name. Anyways, what are exaltations? Once you've maxed out a character in all stats, you are granted the option to further improve your stats with a monotonous but arguably very worth grind. To exalt a character, you need to slay a total of 600 in air quotes exaltation bosses. The reason I say that over exaltation dungeons because it can get a little bit confusing when explaining the lost halls. The amount you need for an exaltation point goes up in increments of 5. For your first point, you'll only need to complete 5 of one boss, and then 10, and then 15, and then 20, and then finally 25. This then leads to a total of 75 of each boss. Anyways, to exalt, you're going to require the Shatters for attack, Nest for dexterity, Fungal Caverns for wisdom, Crystal Caverns for vitality, Oryx 3 for life, and then the Lost Tools for defense, mana, and speed. The Cultist Hideout offers you the speed exaltation, Marble Colossus grants defense exaltations, and the Void grants mana. The exaltations themselves grant an abundance of benefits. Since the exaltations are permanent, they're very good long-term investments. The perks include XP/fame gain, bonus damage, and a decreased time spent in combat. I'll explain this all in the easiest way I can. To start it off, let's talk about the fast learner bonus. For this example, let's say you're exalting the Necromancer. As you level up your exaltations, doesn't matter what stat, you'll slowly start to fill up the fast learner bar. This bar hits a checkmark every 8 exaltation points, which goes up with linear increments of 5%. Once you've achieved 32 exaltations on the character, you will then have a permanent plus 20% XP bonus on that Necromancer and every other Necromancer you make. Okay, moving on to Mastery. Not that kind of mastery. This one functions quite differently than the fast learner bonus. This bonus is also class specific, though this one requires exaltations all around the board to level up, so if you're inexperienced with Oryx Sanctuary or the Lost Tools, then you may struggle with this one. Mastery increases the damage of your weapon by a percentage, though this percentage goes up in increments of 2.5% rather than 5%. For 2.5%, you need to complete 5 of each dungeon. For 5%, you'll need to do another 10 of each dungeon. You get the idea. However, this bonus has a hard cap at 10%, meaning you need to complete 50 of each exaltation dungeon to max out. It's honestly quite as simple as that. Weapon proficiency is a whole different matter, however. This is one of the 2 different ways you can acquire loot drop from exaltation. To level up your weapon proficiency, you need to get all around the board exaltations on the weapon class that you're exalting. So if you want loot drop on staff classes, you'll need to get mastery on every single staff class. If you've got 1 out of 5 on every staff class, you'll be rewarded with 5% permanent loot drop, and once you've fully exalted all classes of a specific weapon class, you will have a permanent plus 25% loot drop whilst you're playing either the Wizard, Necromancer, or Mystic. And as expected, once a new staff class is added to the game, your weapon proficiency will drop to 0% until you start gaining exaltations on the new class. Personally, I believe there should be a small grace period, but I'm not too fussed either way. Armor proficiency works in a very similar way to weapon proficiency, though instead of needing exaltations for a weapon class, it's an armor class. Armor proficiency reduces the amount of time you spend in combat once you've been put into combat. The first mark will reduce the time by 0.2 seconds, and it goes up to a whole second once it's maxed out. In Realm of the Mad God, there are 3 types of armor classes: heavy, leather, and robe. Unless you plan/are planning to be an all-rounder with your exaltations, armor proficiency is not something that you'll start building up for a very, very long time. Hell, I don't have a single point in mine, yet I've got 4 fully exalted robe classes. For the important stuff, that's pretty much everything. Alright, so on to the rewards. Once you fully exalt a character, you'll obtain the exalted skin for that character, and honestly, they all look pretty amazing. The wizard one has quickly become very iconic in my eyes. You also get golden statue in your vault, which also, looks pretty cool. Once you hit 25 total exaltations, you'll receive the Nexus Sheep pet skin. At 50, you'll receive the Mini Gil pet skin. At 100, you'll receive the Stone Brothers pet skin. 250, you get Janus the Fate Gazer pet skin. And then at 500, you will achieve the 32x32 Exalted Oryx pet skin. And then in the very distant future, once you have got every single exaltation in the game, you're granted with a bonus plus 10% loot drop across all characters. As this video has been made, only 3 people have achieved this, being Charizard, Andrea-san, and Darangwan. And honestly, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video has helped at least a few people. Until next time.